What's up, chaps? It's your boy, it's Mbirchy. We're back again with another video, of course. Actually, I forgot to say chaps and chapettes. Some of you female viewers that might be watching, you know, if there is any, of course. Nonetheless, we're getting stuck straight in. We've literally just qualified in the previous episode, of course. We qualified for the weekend league. Now, it's obviously going to be a tough ask. We have to really sort of have our wits about us, you might say, if we're going to do anything. Because you have to think, at this stage of the game, there's going to be a lot of people with, you know, Team of the Year cards, icon cards, because they've been quite easy to get a hold of, you know, with the SPCs and all. And, yeah, it's basically just going to be a rough one, you know. So, first team, no expense spared at all. You've got Boateng in there, Mbirchy, Hazard. You know, it's a sick team. It's a sick team is basically what I'm saying. So, we're trying to apply a lot of pressure, you know, 4-4-2 system, as I've spoken about in the previous episodes, of course. And we start off getting a goal. It's a positive start. I don't know, it's a little bit scary, isn't it, to think how good some of these teams are. But nonetheless, we get Zaha tucking it in. The underdogs are in the lead, of course. I think I might have, I don't know whether I switched formation in this game, so I've got to pause away there. Unfortunately, though, he's getting the aids. And that is one of the unfortunate things that seems to happen to me quite a lot. Especially with Joe Hart. We spoke about him in the previous episode. And then, you know, one goal turns straight into another and we're 2-2. That's not good enough, in my opinion. Like, we got to be doing better, fighting for the team. And that's what Son does there. The new signing, of course, he's only been in here for like 4 or 5 games. Gets the penalty and Antonio tucking it away. Definitely one of the type of players that can stand up against, you know, the stronger players, the faster players. Boateng, and I think he's got Mbirchy in their defence. And he's just got the strength. And once again, Son... My, Sonny Jim, you might say. He's really pulling off a hell of a record, you might say. Goal-scoring record. He's doing really well. So we switch up to the 4-2-3-1. It's the only logical decision at this point, isn't it? Because we have to be sort of seeing it out to an extent. I'm not saying, you know, park the bus. Although, that's probably the right idea, that sort of thing. But you've got to be sort of keeping the pressure up. And we get another goal. 79th minute. Going into the 80th there. We take him down. How's your legs, mate? Mangala just saying goodnight. Tucks him in and all that. And then Joe Hart. Perhaps he does. He's trying to prove something, basically. You know, he wasn't signing the contract, like I say. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on with him, but he concedes, you know, 2 seconds later. So it's kind of... Joe Hart's a little bit of a strange one right now. We're thinking about, you know, getting rid of him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we win the first game. It's a good start. It's a solid start. The next team is a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. I think it's a Bundesliga or Bundesliga. I don't even know how you pronounce that, to be quite honest with you. But we get a goal just like that. Beautiful stuff. 3-1. And that is a victory right there. So get 2 wins on the bounce just like that. So we're going to be showing the first 20 games, of course. I don't know whether I've said that in the title, but just to make it abundantly clear, you might say, this is going to be the first 20 games. With 3-2 up in this game. A little sweat cut back to Antonio. And to be honest, like a lot of the goals you're going to see are sweaty goals. He gets really lucky there. He just whips it in and hope for the best. And he picks out his centre-back. And then he makes it 4-3. It's a tough team. It was always a tough ask, to be honest, this weekend. Because if I started the road to glory, you know, and we had this team going into the first weekend, then obviously the player prices are going to be a bit more expensive and stuff like that. But the fact that we've started this road to glory so late means, especially on these first couple weekends, it is going to be a struggle. I guarantee that. And as you can see, we have Mangala taking the legs, you know, taking names. That's what he just does. He takes the dog tag as well. And just about seeing it out, we get 3 wins. 3 wins out of 4 games, which I'd say is a solid start. Not too far from what I expected, obviously being best player on the planet and all the rest of it, but... We've got the coin boost. We got the coin boost coming in hot. I think 1,000 times 10. Begovic, of course, coming in. See ya, Joe Hart. Literally gone. Hate to see him go as well. Mangala obviously had the red card. We have to get rid of that. Squad fitness in. And it's looking like a hell of a time. You know, Begovic in the door. We needed someone solid. And there's a lot of people saying he's overpowered. I've had some experience with him. And I think he's like 6'6", isn't he? He's a big lad. I mean, Joe Hart was big as well, but... He just wasn't coming up with the performances. His heart wasn't in the team, like I said, so he had to go, unfortunately. I hate to see him go. Joking not at all. He was literally shocking every single game. So 4-3, we're up in this game. 88th minute. We're just looking to see this out. You know how it is. But he's knocking on the door. He's got a hell of a team. And he gets a goal there, Charisma. I've let that slip. Actually, that's not even Charisma. That's Ronaldo. You know, this is the kind of team that we're coming up against every single game. R9 Ronaldo. Absolutely disgusting. At this point, I'm thinking the game's gone. The mentality, it's in the wrong place. But Leroy Fer coming up clutch. Beautiful slide challenge. We're hitting him on the attack. Musa goes for it. My. What a goal. Musa has saved our bacon, you might say, right there. Scoring a goal in the 90th minute. Like, if he didn't score that goal, it's Rip City. Guarantee we would have lost that game because the mindset was we're getting on tilt. You have to recognize. I think that's a tip for the day type thing. Tip for the tip jar, you could say as well. But make sure that you recognize when you're on tilt and when you're going overly aggressive. Nonetheless, we get some players in the door. I think we get Inaki Williams, Bolde Diallo with a finisher chem style. Just overpowered players for the bench. And then Giovinco as well. You already know about your boy Giovinco. And then, last but not least, we've got Cyprin. This guy is actually very overpowered. I think his strength used to be like 85. It's gone down to 79 or 80. But he's got very good stamina, just very physical. And it's the kind of player that we need at a club. Coming off the bench as well. Like, we can have him CDM alongside whoever it might be alongside. I don't even know. So Son gets the ball, goes for the driven finesse shot, very effective this year. You could see it in the EA tournament or whatever recently, of course. Just got to mention his name again. DH Tegs, my guy, winning that, of course. But, you know, Heung-min Son was coming up with a lot of goals, especially on that favourite left peg. I say favourite left peg, it is still his weak foot, but you wouldn't have thought so. 5-star weak foot, you know, he's got a hell of a shot, and he's coming up clutch just about every game. So, no expenses spared. I've said this before, but the teams we're coming up against, we're having to perform, majorly perform, like just to get close to the standard of the teams, because the amount of pace and strength, all the rest of it, they're out fighting us, out jumping us in the air. It's very hard to compete, and unless you're on your A game, you're going to be taking L's. So we need to make sure that we're keeping the fitness up as well, because we need every sort of, I would say training cards would be like the only way of countering it. But not only do we not have enough coins for that, we're also not sweaty enough for that. And yeah, that would just be an absolute sweat fest. And I also don't think you're even allowed to use training cards, which I think is kind of a good thing. But, that's another topic for another day type stuff. So Bakayoko, we're playing that solid, patient passing play. And it often is the best, especially against teams and players that could potentially be better than you. But Antonio tucking it away. Leroy Fer, he seems to put in a shift and a half. He's also got a bit of a wild card stat. 91 jump and he's 6'2". Decent heading ability. But as you can see there, at this point, we're creating chances and bagging and tagging every single time. I think that was Antonio doing a driven finesse shot with his weak foot. Look at that team. That is just disgusting. The coin value that you're seeing right there is mad. We get a chance, wasted, terribly wasted. I was really annoyed with this one as well. He does a pass off, and I just couldn't get a player to him in time. I just physically could not get a player to him in time. If I pressed A or whatever to drag a player short, I could have got it. We stand off Ronaldo. This is what I mean. You need to be on your A game if you make any mistakes against these teams and these players, because the way that matchmaking works on Foot Champs as well, the more games that you win, the better players you're going to come up against. So it got to the point where every single game we're playing teams with icons, legend, team of the years, icon, our legends, your Moppet, icons, team of the years, they're all there. And if the players are good as well, in terms of the actual skill level of the player, but, behind the controller, sitting nice and cozy, then it's going to be a tough ask. And Ronaldo taking us down, I think that's our second loss. It's a bit unfortunate. I mean, it was a decent goal. I think we definitely could have won that game, though. It was definitely one of those games where if we got a bit more lucky, or if he got less lucky, then we could have pulled a result out of the hat, but it wasn't to be. And best believe I was salty about it too. So, nonetheless, Son picking up a goal there. A little bit lucky, you might say, but I'd say deserved, because two of those shots probably choking hard. Probably should have gone in. My. Talking at the speed of light here, I'll tell you now. So we're 2-0 up in this game. Hell of a team. Hell of an opponent, you might say, as he gets a goal back. 2-1 Sane tucking it away. And I think the best style of play, if I had to, you know, put it down to a T, is probably the possession style, especially against these opponents with better teams. But we go 4-1 up. We're in complete control of this fixture at this point. He's starting to choke. Oof. That's nice. That's actually filthy. I'd go as far as to say that is, in fact, a filthy goal. Just letting it through his legs, you know. Tucking it away. It's decent stuff. And we're doing well at the moment. 2 losses. I think we're on... I didn't see how many wins we're on at the moment there, but nice bit of skill by Musa. I was basically doing the no-touch dribbling, which can come in handy a couple of times. Haven't really mastered it. Still need to do that. Zaha gets the ball across. Leroy Fer tucking it away. I really do like this lad, Leroy Fer, I'll be quite honest with you. So we're 2-0 up in this game. His team is absolutely mad. I mean, I don't know how that isn't a penalty. You know, you've got to be asking questions of the referee after that. Where do his loyalties lie type stuff. So we get the goal nonetheless, though. 3-0. My. Musa with a sniper chem star certainly is a good player. Gets the ball back here. Ronaldinho. He's also got Ronaldo, but he gives it across to, I think, Mateus, who just tucks it away. He's just got too many sick players. We switch to the 4-2-3-1. Surely the logical thing to do there. We give it to Son. And we give him the Rip City treatment. My. Look at that for a shot. For 89th minute to finish him off. He's got to be salty about that. So we're now at 12 wins, 2 losses. It's looking good. We get another coin boost active. And I don't know whether you saw there as well. We've also got a 15 times coin boost still yet to use. So that's 15,000 coins, you know. Which is decent. Which is very decent, in fact. So we go for a little method here. A corner method where you press down LT... make one player come short to, you know, yourself on the corner. And then that drags across some of the defenders. Whip it in. Antonio bangs it just like that. And then Antonio here gives it to Zaha. Sweat across. And we're getting a lot of those types of goals with the 4-4-2 formation. And I think it is just an effective thing to do. It's the same with last year. Don't really see too many triple tap X's at all. It's mostly driven passes. Because at the end of the day... nobody's got time to press X 3 times in the space of like 2 seconds. You need it instant, you know, driven pass across. We basically recognize that this guy was kind of patient in attack, but well, at least when he got around, you know, the box. But in build-up and defense, he was a bit too sort of risky. He was going for it a bit too much, a bit too aggressive. And as you can see, that's the worst offside trap I've ever seen. I don't know what he was thinking there. He's lost his head, basically. He's lost his head, and we take the W 4-2. We'll certainly take that every day of the week. We're now 13 for 2. I mean, that is a definite respectable record, you know. 13 for 2, considering the team that we're using and the teams that we're coming up against. My, we'll certainly take it. Heung-min Son, once again, gets a goal with his left peg. He's beautiful. He's so good. I'm not saying he's beautiful in terms of the way he looks. I mean, I'm talking about his finish, my boys. It's a hell. His left foot is just mad. Like his driven shot, flipping shot is mad. But this game ends up going to penalties. We end up playing a super sort of. It was very dominant. He was very good defensively, and it ended up going all the way. And he had a mad team as well. So this is arguably the best penalty shootout I think I've ever taken part in. So it's 1-1 at this point. Bold ADL. Keeper saves. You know, your head drops at this point. You're thinking, is this the end? It might well be. And then Sane straight at the keeps as well. So we're level at this point. Inaki Williams going for it. I probably should have tucked that low, but I've gone for the power. Perhaps a little bit aggressive there. Shevchenko in off the post. It's a rough one. This is definitely a rough one. Zaha going for it, though. Off his foot. I mean, that... I don't know whether that was... I think that might be Musa, actually. That is just AIDS. We're 2-1 down. Pogba, if he scores this, keeper saves. My. This is getting tense now. So Son on the penalty. He scored 2. I've scored 1. Decent penalty there. What's going to happen here? This to win it. I think he's had 2 penalties to win the game. Keeper saves. I think that means we're now level, I believe. Bakayoko goes for it. Just about goes in. My. What's going to happen here? If we save it, of course, we take the W. Del Piero on the spot. We predict him going down the middle. We take the W. And he's dabbing away. That's the... I would not want to be him right now. I mean, Yet alone the fact that he's just choked a penalty shootout 2-goal lead. But, you know, Begovic dabbing away as well. That's got to be a rough one. So, Mbappe gets the ball through. Ronaldo blocked off the line. And then it just falls for him. You know, you put in all the effort. A hell of a block by Chris Smalling. He's put in a shift. And then it just falls from anyway. Look at that, though. The reflexes from your boy, Leroy Fer, just straight across. We see that sweaty chance. And we get a goal back. Musa then playing it through for Antonio, making it 2-1. We take the lead in a very tough game. These games were very, very tough at this point. We get it across, though. Leroy Fer tucking it away. Beautiful finish, to be honest. Leroy Fer, I actually do rate him quite a lot. He was very good in these games. He really did seem to come up clutch a lot of the time. So I would definitely recommend the purchase if you're looking for a cheap team and all that, because he is one of the better players on this team. The only problem was, though, is that he didn't have a high... I think he had like a low defensive work rate. So as you can see, we're switching up to the 4-2-3-1 formation. Just because we're kind of basically just trying to see this game out. Musa doing a filthy bit of skill. Looking for the cutback. We give it to Balde Diao. The driven finish. And the driven pass as well. Disgusting stuff. So we take the 4-1 W there. Certainly take that. 16 wins, 2 losses. I mean, how sick is that? To be fair, like, how sick actually is that? 16 for 2. My. That's mad. Considering the team, I mean, I'd probably say that like 50 times during the course of this weekend league, but it is pretty incredible. So Son, down this left-hand side, he's looking for a bit of room. We open him up within 2 minutes. GG's, my dude. And then we make it 2-0. But soon after, the quality starts to show a little bit. Luis Hernandez getting a goal. We get a header on. We get the 8 as well, but Antonio, you know, fighting. He's a big lad. He's got strength. He's got all the rest of it. So 3-1 up at this point. This I really don't understand. This is a big goal as well. I'm literally, I swear I'm on 4-2-3-1 and playing defensive as well, and even lowered my pressure of custom tactics. And yet they're still so high up that I'll give him that. That was... my. I'll give him that. My. I'm hoping the mic's alright. Taking a hell of a beating, just like us on Foot Champs in this game, but that was a sick goal. I'll give him that the third goal. He absolutely ruins us there defensively. I don't know. We just fell apart at that point because of assault. But that Lozano goal, what happened with the defensive line here? I don't know why they're so high up. I really don't. And that costs us another loss. We're now 16 for 3. I'd still say at this point a respectable record, though. Another sick team. And here's the thing. When you start taking L's and you're conceding deflected goals like that, that is when the salt starts to pump, you know. And when the salt pumps, we all know that you start playing worse. And Luis Hernandez, you know, we're 2-0 down in the next game. I just went straight into this game. Definitely should not have gone into this game. It was a bad idea. But we get a goal back. Son tucking it away. We're 2-1 at this point. It's looking like it could be on the cards. 46th minute, you know, we're into the second half now. Gets a chance. Terrible defending. Alessandrini gets a goal. We're 3-1 down. Decent goal by Giovinco. I think we bring him on. Might have been using a 4-2-3-1. Lovely passing across. Inaki Williams finishing that. We're now 3-3. So we got back from 3-1 down. Pretty decent stuff. Giovinco trying a bit of skill. Pass it back down. Give it back to Giovinco. Nice bit of dribbling. We get the penalty. Penalty on the spot. Giovinco, keeper saves. My shoots again. Musa. My. We got lucky there in the end. We did get lucky there in the end. No denying. So we're 4-3 up. 70th minute. It's looking good. The mindset a little bit off, I'd have to say at this point, though. You know, after taking L's, we're not in the best place right now. We're not playing our best FIFA, that's for sure. And he gets just a little bit of room. I'm not tight enough on him there. I just allow him to sort of do LTRT. And then we get a red card. We try to play defensive 4-4. We're just trying to see it out at this point till extra time. He somehow, I predicted the pass, somehow gets through and we take another L. So literally 4 losses there. I think we could have done much better than that, to be honest. It's still respectable, though. Like, 20 games played, 4 losses with this team is pretty mad, but we still should have done better. Nonetheless, if you do want to see more of this series, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes on the next Mbirchy episode where we'll be going in to the next 20 games. My.